I'm going to try to do this before I lose some of the details to my memory. So here we go. So it's Tuesday. I'm in New Jersey. I'm bobtailing. I go in the Convoy app, look for a load. I find one in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. It's going to Freetown, Massachusetts. I suspect that it's a Stop and Shop warehouse. And when I look up the address, I was right. It's a Stop and Shop warehouse. Stop and Shop is a supermarket chain in the Northeast. So I accept the load. The load has to be picked up the following day, February 3rd, on a Wednesday. And the time that I have to pick up is between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. That's the window, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So I drive 153 miles bobtailing, which means I have no trailer, to Shippensburg, PA. 153 miles, and it's to a Procter and Gamble warehouse. So I arrive, and my information has to be put in a pad. I put my information in a pad along with my phone number, and with my phone number they can send me instructions, which they do. They send a little picture of the map of the facility, and the instruction is to park where the other trucks are that are bobtailing. My load isn't ready yet. Fine. Now, I turned on my logbook. Right, I went on duty because if you don't go on duty and head toward the shipper, you'll be in violation. So I went on duty. I started driving, arrived at the facility, followed the instructions, went and parked, waited for them to call. So as the hours pass, it's hard for you to sleep. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to sleep because you want to make sure that you get that phone and you don't miss that phone call. Sometimes at some facilities, if you miss the phone call, they'll have you waiting a very long time. So as a result of that, can't really get any sleep, not any good sleep at least, because any little sound. Now when I usually go to sleep, I take the sound off. I mute the phone so that I can get some sleep. But now I can't mute the phone. So every notification that comes through is ringing and waking me up. And it's constant. It got to a point where I was so tired where that the notifications weren't even waking me up anymore. And then I would wake up in a panic because I wasn't sure if I missed a phone call from these people or not. I didn't. This went on for about 9 hours of my arrival. My load was not ready for 9 hours. Now I had to adjust my electronic log because I had been sitting there for hours not working. So I adjusted it. I put it on sleeper and tried to sleep. Slept as much as I could, at least as much quality sleep that I could. Finally, when I woke up, I noticed that I had a missed call, but they also sent a message with instructions on where the trailer was, where I was supposed to pull it from. Now, this load is going close to 500 miles, 400 and some odd miles. It was like 483 miles or something like that, which in the Northeast can take you about 9.5, 10 hours. The speed limit up in the Northeast in the fastest areas are 65 miles an hour, but you have some long stretches that are 55 miles an hour, and you have some areas that are 50 miles an hour. But that's not much of a stretch, not much of a ride. But the traffic is horrible in the Northeast. Horrible. You're in the New York area, New York, Connecticut. Traffic is terrible, especially around the hours that I was going. So that was the beginning. And I was expecting, when I arrived at Stop and Shop, the Stop and Shop warehouse, which is now ADUSA. That's what the warehouse is, ADUSA. So when I arrived there, my memory of the place, because it's been many years since I haven't gone there, my memory, well, I'm so exhausted right now, I can't even think. I don't remember it being very user friendly, let's say. So I arrived, but it turns out that it was a lot better of an experience than what I remember it being, which was pretty good. And there was some damaged goods, damaged product, about a half a pallet of damaged product that they put back on the trailer. And in the paperwork, I guess they're requesting credit for the damaged product, which is not unusual for a warehouse like ADUSA. So I looked at the Convoy app and realized that they changed the return time because I was running way behind. Now, the delivery was for 9 o'clock in the morning. So because I had to change my clock, my electronic log, I had to wait 10 hours in order for me to be able to drive again. Well, I wasn't doing a split because I was beyond the split by that point. By the time I woke up and noticed that my load wasn't ready, I figured, why do a split? I wasn't going to get anywhere with a split anyway. So I just went through the whole 10 hours on sleeper, and 45 minutes after the time that I was ready to roll, or 45 minutes prior to the time that I was ready to roll, the message came up that the trailer was ready. So I went and hooked up to the trailer, did the pre-trip, and finally started rolling out. And obviously at 5:30 in the morning, 5:45 in the morning, I wasn't going to arrive 483 miles later by 9 o'clock, cutting through New York and Connecticut and New Jersey. Wasn't going to happen. But a simple phone call, and that was resolved. So that was good. Finally, when I was done, with ADUSA, I came back to drop the trailer off from its point of origin, which was Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, at the Procter & Gamble facility. So when I arrive, the guard said, "What's that? You can't take that. Or we'd have to put it in the door, but we need some authorization from a supervisor." Well, there's no supervisor available at the time that I arrived. I arrived at 8:41 p.m. on a Friday. So the guard comes back with this amazing news that they may not be able to get this stuff off until Monday. So I would have to spend an entire weekend with this trailer. And I'm losing an amazing amount of loads because I have to be stuck with this trailer. And I called Convoy to get whatever necessary number to clear the situation. And they put me on hold for 40 some odd minutes. I had to hang up and call back just to find out that it wasn't happening tonight. Maybe tomorrow morning, Saturday. Maybe. So you need patience. Things don't always work out the way you planned. Oh, by the way, with that empty trailer, the plan was to get a load coming back this way so that I can make up for I wouldn't say it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't worthwhile. So yeah, in this business you need patience. I didn't flip out on anybody. I kept it professional. But anybody who's interested in getting their own truck, becoming an owner-operator, you have to have patience. You have to have patience, and you have to behave professionally. No flipping out. Communicate professionally. There's really nothing that anybody can do. So yelling and screaming at people is not going to make anything move forward. But another little piece of advice for somebody who wants to become an owner-operator: the money is going to look a whole lot better than the paychecks you were getting as a company driver. And don't make the mistake of not remembering that you now have a business and there's a cost associated with operating your business. And just because you went from a paycheck to an amount of money you may not be used to, it doesn't mean you should go out there and just blow all your money that you're making, because you figure you're going to make a whole lot more later on anyway. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm going to try to get some rest. Let's see what tomorrow morning brings. Let's see if Convoy is able to get this trailer off my back. So remember, guys, patience. It's a virtue.